Hey everybody, today I want to talk about how to know which items on Amazon are considered meltable. Now, maybe you recently got an email from Amazon stating that pretty soon Amazon will not allow meltable items to be stored in their warehouses, and they do this every year during the hot times of the year. And so Amazon has a set time. They say that between May 1st and September 30th, that no meltable items are allowed to be stored at an Amazon warehouse. And so that means that between October 1st and April 30th, you can sell meltable items. Now, maybe you got an email from Amazon saying that you have a limited amount of time to sell through your meltable items, and you're like, wait, what items do I have that are considered meltable? And so I want to walk you through 4 ways that you can find out which items are considered meltable by Amazon, and at the end I give you a bonus tip that really could help save you some money, so stick around for that bonus tip. So first, let's look at the definition that Amazon gives of meltable. When we look at the Amazon guidelines for meltable, it says that meltable refers to heat-sensitive products that are eaten or swallowed, including chocolate, yogurt, gummies, and probiotics. Chocolate, gummies, yogurt-covered items, and probiotics will not be fulfilled through FBA from May 1st through September 30th. Products that are in fulfillment centers must be able to withstand a minimum of temperature of 50 degrees Fahrenheit and a maximum temperature of 120 degrees Fahrenheit during the product's shelf life without hurting its quality. Now, in this definition, Amazon gives some examples of meltable items, but this list is not exclusive. There are other items besides chocolate and yogurt-covered things and probiotic things like that. There's more things that are considered by Amazon as meltable, and I know this because I was able to obtain a copy of every meltable item that Amazon currently sells, and I'll tell you toward the end of this video how you can get a copy of that too. But when we think about how can we figure out which items are considered as meltable by Amazon, the first thing you can do is to just use common sense. Start brainstorming things that you know would melt. Think about if something that you are selling on Amazon was in a car for over an hour during the hottest day of the year, would that melt? Again, you got chocolates, you got gummies, you got soft gels, those kind of probiotics with the soft gels. There's sugar-free candies. Even the hard candies that are sugar-free begin to melt in hot weather. There's lipsticks, there's candles, there's wax, there's taffy, there's all sorts of things that could melt. So just start thinking through that and just consider that might be something that melts. Take a second to brainstorm and use those words while you're searching for your inventory, through your inventory, to see if any of those words come up. And if they are, you might want to try and sell them and price them to sell before the April 30th timeline gets here, and then, because what happens is on May 1st, sometime between May 1st and May 15th, Amazon will take all the meltable items in their warehouses and dispose of them. Now, I think they probably have a big chocolate party in the warehouses and dispose of the chocolate that way, but obviously there's other things that are meltable in the warehouses, and they dispose of those however they decide to do it. So the first thing, just use common sense. The second thing to do is to look at an item's label. Maybe you've got a label of something that you're wanting to sell, and you can take a look at the label, and a lot of times it will say this item needs to be stored between these temperatures. And so Amazon says between 50 degrees Fahrenheit and 120 degrees Fahrenheit. So make sure that your item falls within that time range. And if you have items at Amazon and you're like, I don't know if it says anything, well, open up a removal order to remove one so you can take a look at it and know for yourself whether or not this is an item that's considered meltable. And then in the future, whenever you are sourcing an item, you should make note of this is possibly a meltable item. In fact, if you use Inventory Lab has an option where you can set a reminder for a particular product for a particular day to remind you of something. So you can, if you've noticed that there's an item that is considered as meltable by Amazon, you can put a reminder, instead of on April 30th when it should be disposed of or sold by then, maybe March 30th, you put a reminder saying, hey, you should sell this. You only have a month to sell this and be able to actually sell it to someone who wants it before Amazon disposes of it, before you have to open up a removal order and return it to yourself. And that's just not something that you want to do. The third thing that you can do which has been one of my most reliable ways to do this, both when I'm searching for my current inventory and if I'm just outsourcing and I'm wondering, hey, is this item considered meltable? I don't want to buy it in April knowing that I just have a short time to sell it. So one of the best ways that you can do that is to take a look at the Kiba Graph. If you go to fulltimefba.com/Kiba, Kiba is a service that tracks both the pricing history and the sales rank history, but also tracks a ton of other information, including who owns the FBA buy box and who has the best FBA price. So if you go to Kiba and you type in an ASIN to say, for example, here, I'll even show you on the screen. So if you go and you're looking at these Andes mints, and I know they're meltable, but they're chocolate, but I want to show you proof that you can see on a Kiba Graph that this item is meltable. So if you look at this Kiba Graph, you can start to take away some of the information by clicking on these little dots here, and you can take a look at the FBA new price and just look at which one of these at times is an FBA new price. And you can take a look and you can see on this graph, I'm going to make sure that I look at the entire year of the history so I can get a full 365-day history so we can see this information. But you can see right here that between May 1st and September 30th, there were no FBA sellers selling this item. There might still be some merchant fulfilled sellers selling this item, but there's no FBA sellers. So this shows me, hey, this item is considered meltable because there's 0 sellers selling this between May 1st and September 30th, but they're selling the rest of the year. So take a look at Kiba, again, fulltimefba.com/Kiba to be able to see which items are not selling during the summer times, and you can see, okay, that item is meltable. And the fourth way to know if an item is meltable is compare it to the list that Amazon provides. Now, I had to open up a ticket with Amazon and go back and forth with people trying to be able to get a list for you of the current items that Amazon considers as meltable. So if you go to fulltimefba.com/meltable, you can download a free spreadsheet that will let you know every ASIN and the category that those ASINs are in to see if the items that you are selling compare to that list and are considered as meltable. So again, you want to be able, if you're something that you're questionable about and you're like, well, this is a candle, but I don't think this would melt in 120 degrees, but I'm not so quite sure, you can go and take a look at that ASIN and run a search in that spreadsheet to see if you can find that ASIN, and if you find it, it's meltable. If you can't find it, it's not meltable. Now, the list that you can get at fulltimefba.com/meltable, I'm gonna continually try to update that list as time goes on. So a few times a year, I'll try to update that list. Now, the list that you will get might be a few days old, it might be a few weeks old, it might be a few months old, but it will be as long as Amazon continues to provide this list to me, I will continue to update it so you can get the most recent information. But again, just use common sense and think to yourself, which items should be meltable, which ones are not, and the ones you have questions about, compare them to this list. And here's my bonus tip. Even if Amazon does not consider something as meltable, doesn't mean it's not meltable. They just don't have it triggered in their system that it's meltable. And so just again, use common sense. If you think that it would melt in 120 degree temperatures, then you don't want to risk it by selling that item to a customer. Amazon has these rules because they know that during the spring and summer months, it can get pretty hot in the shipping trucks that are moving your inventory to Amazon and to your customer. And so, in fact, sometimes even some of the warehouses, they might not have the temperatures controlled as well as we would want. And so items melt. And if a customer gets a melted item in the mail that you sold to them and it's all melted, you're going to get negative feedback. And the more negative feedback you get, the slower your sales are going to be because your feedback is going to be hurt and your seller metrics are going to be hurt. And Amazon gives the buy box and gives more and promotes more the sellers that are doing a good job and will do their best job for a customer. So the more negative feedback you get, the lower opportunities you will have to get the buy box, and your profits are going to go down. And eventually, if you continue to get negative feedback, your account is going to be suspended. You don't want that. So just use common sense, because Amazon's system is not perfect. We know that from other things with Amazon. They do their best, but it's not perfect. To give you an example, there was some chocolate items that Amazon did not consider as meltable that I knew that melts, and so I'm not going to sell those, even though I was allowed to on Amazon. On the other hand, sometimes just having the word chocolate or another meltable word in the title might get that item to be labeled as meltable. There was a chocolate fondue pot that I sold once that I got notified that it was considered as meltable. No, there was not chocolate in the box with the fondue. It was just a chocolate fondue pot. No, the pot was not made out of chocolate. It just had it in the title. And so I had to open up a case with Amazon and tell them, you just disposed of an item that does not melt. It's a chocolate fondue pot. And I got reimbursed for that, but still, their system is just not perfect. And so if you do end up getting something destroyed by Amazon that's not really meltable, open up a ticket, ask for a reimbursement. So if you want to see for yourself the meltable guidelines on Amazon, if you go to fulltimefba.com/meltable guidelines, that will give you the most up-to-date information on what Amazon allows, the time periods, because sometimes they move the time periods to different times of the year, but usually, and 99% of the time, it's May 1st to September 30th that you are not allowed to sell meltable items, and October 1st to April 30th when you are allowed to sell meltable items on Amazon. So I hope this has been helpful. Again, if you want the free list of the current items that Amazon deems as meltable, go to fulltimefba.com/meltable. You can download that. That's all for today. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment below if you want to. And as always, fulltimefba.com. Be there, subscribe, be sure you don't miss out on anything we have to offer. We always give tips and tricks, coupon codes, freebies, lots of fun stuff just for you. So fulltimefba.com and subscribe. That's it for me. Have a great day, everybody. God bless. Bye.